20 football moments that you never heard of. Did you know that football mascots make more money than doctors? That's right. Those furry and funny characters that entertain the fans and cheer on the teams can earn up to $100,000 a year, while the average doctor's salary in the US is around $75,000. Some of these mascots even have their own agents and brands. How insanely crazy is that? Next up, did you know that football players are not allowed to wear chains during a game? This rule was introduced by FIFA in 2006 after several incidents of players getting injured by their own or their opponent's jewelry. For example, in 2004, Chelsea's Didier Drogba had his chain ripped off his neck by Manchester United's Rio Ferdinand, causing a nasty cut and a lot of bleeding. Next up, we tell you about age being just a number. The oldest footballer ever to play in a professional match was Kazuyoshi Miura of Japan, who played at the age of 50 years and 7 days in 2017. This next one is a bit funny. Well, the heaviest football player ever to play professionally was so big that he once broke the crossbar with his weight when he hung from it to celebrate a save. It was William Fatty Falk, who weighed about 140 kilograms at his peak. Now let us tell you some unknown facts about the World Cup trophy. It is the most expensive award of any sport, worth over $20 million. The trophy is made of 18-karat gold and weighs 6.1 kilograms. The original trophy, known as the Jules Rimet Trophy, was stolen in 1983 and never recovered. It was made of gold-plated sterling silver and lapis lazuli. In the early days of football, there were no strict rules about what could or could not be on the pitch. Sometimes, animals would wander onto the field and cause chaos or amusement for the players and spectators. For example, in 1969, a kangaroo interrupted a match between Australia and North Korea in Sydney. A football club once led a grizzly bear onto the field, causing controversy with PETA. In 2010, Russian club FC Mashuk KMV decided to use a live bear as their mascot. That's some fan following. The largest football stadium is in Pyongyang, North Korea, and has a capacity of 150,000 spectators. Still, it's not used for football matches. The stadium is mainly used for political events of the Korean dictator Kim Jong-un. And what if I told you the FIFA game is ending? FIFA 23 will be the last game, and EA Sports is creating their own football game called EA Sports FC. This shocking news was announced by EA Sports in 2022 after they failed to renew their license agreement with FIFA, the governing body of football. Now let's talk about speed. During a goal, Bobby was clocked at 23.61 miles per hour, which is faster than Usain Bolt's average speed in his world record 100-meter dash. The Brazilian striker is known for his speed, skill, and flair on the pitch. The speed was measured by a radar gun and confirmed by Guinness World Records as the fastest ever recorded in a football match. Let's take a dive down history of football. The ancient Aztec football games used skulls or whole heads as balls. Animal bladders were used as early footballs. That's right, the Aztecs played a brutal game called Tlachtli, where they used human skulls or severed heads as balls. They also sacrificed the losing team to the gods. Animal bladders were also used as balls by many ancient civilizations, such as the Greeks, Romans, and Chinese. They were inflated with air and stitched together with leather or cloth. And now to the advancements of modern world. The most technologically advanced footballs in history were created for the last World Cup. They featured a thermally bonded seamless surface, a 6-panel design, and an embedded NFC chip that allowed fans to interact with the ball using their smartphones. Did you know about the first ever Football World Cup? The first Football World Cup was held in Uruguay in 1930 and was won by the host nation, who defeated Argentina 4-2 in the final. Only 13 teams participated in the tournament, and no European teams qualified due to the long and costly journey across the Atlantic Ocean. And now here is a story of anarchy and chaos. Fans of Saint Etienne became violent and destroyed the stadium after their team lost and faced being kicked out of their league. In 1996, Saint Etienne faced relegation from Ligue 1 after losing to Toulouse. Their fans were so furious that they stormed the pitch and started to rip apart the seats, goals, and fences of the Stade Geoffroy Guichard. They also clashed with the police and set fire to cars and buses outside the stadium. The damage was estimated at over $1 million. Next up, the first football match ever televised was a friendly between Arsenal and Arsenal reserves in 1937. the BBC broadcasted the match live from Highbury Stadium on September 16, 1937. Here is another fun record that hardly few people know. The fastest goal in football history was scored by Nawaf Al Abed of Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia, who netted after just 2.4 seconds in 2009. Al Abed scored from the kickoff in a Saudi Professional League match. The goal was so quick that many fans were confused if the match had even started. Here is another unheard football record. Football matches are 90 minutes, but the longest football match ever recorded lasted for 35 hours and 15 minutes. The match was organized by Heart Research UK to raise money for charity in Scotland in 2012. It started on May 26th and ended on May 27th, with a final score of 603 to 462 for Team A over Team B. The players broke the previous Guinness World Record. Now another ridiculous individual record. The most goals scored by a single player in a professional football match is 16, achieved by Stefan Stanis of France. Stanis scored his incredible feat on December 13, 1942, in a French second division match that ended with a score of 32-0 for Lens. You may not believe it, but the most red cards shown in a single football match is 36. Yes, you heard that right, 36 red cards in one game. This happened in a fifth-tier match between Claypole and Victoriano Arenas in Argentina in 2011. The referee lost his patience and sent off all 22 players, as well as the substitutes and the technical staff of both teams. Here is the most ridiculous football moment that you may have never heard of. The highest-scoring football match ever recorded was a 149-0. However, this was not a fair contest, but rather a protest by Sceaux-Lemern against a refereeing decision that cost them the league title. They deliberately scored own goals throughout the game as a way of showing their anger and frustration. This was a shameful act of sabotage that tarnished the reputation of Malagasy football. These were the 20 unknown but stunning moments from the annals of football history. Which of these moments was your favorite? Let us know in the comments.